are many people throughout our country, particularly younger people, who are ignorant of some of the history and ignorant of the atrocities of people like Che Guevara, and even celebrate Che Guevara by wearing shirts and all this stuff. But let me send the message to everyone. You should be wearing Felix Rodriguez shirts if you believe in freedom. After serving in the CIA, Felix became a U.S. citizen and joined the Army, where he went on to achieve the rank of colonel. During the Vietnam War, he flew over 300 helicopter missions and was shot down 5 times. He also trained provincial reconnaissance units and were part of the Phoenix program, a CIA coordinated effort to identify and destroy the Viet Cong. His lifetime of service has earned him recognition at home and abroad. He's one of the most decorated CIA operatives in history. He was awarded the Intelligence Star given by the agency to recognize extraordinary heroism in the most hazardous conditions. The Intelligence Star is given only to the most elite, making it one of the rarest awards given by the United States government. Additionally, Felix was awarded the Republic of Vietnam Cross of Gallantry 9 times for his bravery during the Vietnam War. And it's a lot of list of achievements, but Felix, you're about to get one more here today. So he has made Florida his home, and I've often said that, anytime we see threats to freedom, you come down here to South Florida and people see it and they understand it more than anywhere else in this country because they've lived what happens when you lose freedom. And I think nobody down here exemplifies that more than Felix. His life has been dedicated to fighting communism, to supporting freedom, to supporting liberty. And this has been very, very important to have this here in the United States, but certainly in Florida. And so we appreciate what this community represents, and we really view Felix as kind of the ultimate embodiment of what a brave, courageous freedom fighter is all about. And so very recently, the Florida legislature enacted legislation to establish a Medal of Freedom for the state of Florida that we would give to people who have obtained feats and have distinguished themselves above and beyond what the typical citizen would do. The first award that I gave under this new legislation was to former Florida State coach Bobby Bowden just a few months ago, and obviously Coach Bowden recently passed away. And Coach Bowden really was one of a kind, and when it came to football and the leadership and all that, he really left a huge mark. Well, what Bobby Bowden was to football, Felix Rodriguez is to the cause of freedom, and so it's my honor to present, for only the second person to receive this award since it's been established, the Florida Medal of Freedom for Felix Rodriguez. All right. So you're going to be able to wear this. There you go. Thank you very much. Absolutely. So you'll hear from Felix in a minute, but before that, we've got a lot of great folks who are going to be able to come up and speak. You're going to hear at the end from Lieutenant Colonel Archie Kelly. You're going to hear in a minute from Juan Chartier, Steve Bovo, our Lieutenant Governor Jeanette Nunez, and our Chairman of the County Commission, Pepe Diaz. So Juan, are you here? Are you ready to come up and speak? The floor is yours.
First, I want to say, see these people? 110? These guys died on the beach or were shot down. That's why we're here. And he was there, along with my father, along with Stevie Bovo's father, Pepe Cancio, Blanquito. Sir, I know you. You were there. So thank you, Javier Soto. Thank you for coming. So I've known Felix for 30 years through my father. They were like brothers. They used to be called hermanos. And through that, I've been able to help Felix out. I'm a lawyer in D.C., so he appointed me 30 years ago when I was a young guy, legal advisor to the brigade. And now I'm legal advisor to the museum. And because of that, I've been involved with many interesting journeys with him. We were at the CIA headquarters in 2007 with your father, Senator Rubio, Felix and I, and we ran into the president of Guatemala. Felix had been, and your father had been working 2 years to get that B-26 that's out there from Guatemala. And all of a sudden, we're walking into the CIA for a briefing. To the right, they go, that's President Jimmy Morales. Senator? And Felix goes, vamos, vamos, vamos. They go, they attack the president of Guatemala. They surround him, you know, like, what's this? Felix Rodriguez, Senator, blah, blah, blah. Took 2 years, but through the efforts of this guy, Senator Rubio's office, that B-26 is here. Thank you for that. One of Felix's pride and joys is the moment in 1987 when he was subpoenaed to appear before the Senate Iran-Contra Committee. Remember Oliver North, Admiral Poindexter, General Secord, right? He wasn't involved in the Iran part. He was involved in the Contra part, but they subpoenaed him anyway, figuring they'll crack him, and then he's going to spill the beans, and President Reagan and Vice President Bush and all that would fall. So he goes up to Washington. He's being briefed at the White House by the White House counsel. And he says, Felix, where's your lawyer? He goes, what lawyer? I can't afford a lawyer. He goes, you came without a lawyer? Yes, we'll appoint a lawyer. He goes, no, sir. I don't need a lawyer. What? I'm going to sit there and I'm going to tell the truth. But you're going to be under oath. There's lawyers in the committee. They're going to try to trick you. You have no immunity. He goes, I'm just going to say the truth. There's a beautiful picture of him in his office. He's got a nice suit on. He's like this, standing at attention like this, swearing under oath to that committee. They grilled him for 2 days. Couldn't touch him. Go forward. Oliver North, with his big shot lawyer, got indicted. Poindexter, Secord, got indicted. They couldn't touch this guy. Why? Because he's a man of honor, a man of respect, and he told the truth. I know the governor said 5 minutes, but Governor, is that Cuban time or American time?
Just assume Cuban time.
One more story. So we're at the CIA on another occasion, and we're being briefed by Pompeo, head of the CIA, about Cuba and what the Trump administration is going to do. And then we have lunch with the head of the Latin American division. And by the way, a representative of the CIA is here who hosted us. Her grandfather was also in the brigade. She flew up this morning, Carolina Blanco. And the head of the Latin American division comes and brings a copy of a cable. October 17th, 1967, something like that? October 9th, he's got a photographic memory. 67. La Higuera, Bolivia, to Station Chief. Panama, right? Bolivia. Captured Che. Captured Fulanito. Captured Manguito, 2 of his buddies. Interrogated him for 2 hours. Got lots of stuff. Che executed 10:45 a.m. Felix, boom, that was it. And that's in the CIA museum. And they show it to everybody on how an operative in the field should send a message. This guy. Thank you.
Great job. Great job. I will also now hear from Steve Bovo.
Thank you, Governor. And before I speak, I want to also acknowledge that the governor has served our country also. So I appreciate the service by the governor in the military of the United States. So thank you, Governor. So I'm going to try to be brief, but I have been given specific instructions by Felix that whatever I say, I have to also say it in Spanish. So I'm going to do as brief as I possibly can to honor my good friend. Many that are going to come up today are going to speak about military adventures. Many are going to come up and speak about things that Felix throughout his life was doing for the love of country. I'm going to speak about something a little differently. I'm going to speak perhaps something more the way I know Felix, which was a brother to my father, a brother to many of the men that have helped build this museum, a man who was motivated by the love of freedom and democracy. Because I don't think there's any other way of explaining how could you basically go world hopping, chasing communists to make sure that disease can't grow roots. So whether it was Nicaragua or Venezuela or how many perhaps classified places that Felix had to go to, it was always motivated by a love of family. And I know it well, the sacrifices that Rosita, Felix, without having to grow up near you, I understand exactly the sacrifices throughout life when your dad was leaving for a cause that was so big that no one could understand or comprehend, but it was the cause of freedom. And I think he fulfilled his mission well. Your dad was a good friend. My father loved Felix like his brother. They argued like brothers, but he loved Felix like his brother. And this museum that we have here today is a testament to them, both of them and others who have worked tirelessly to see a tank parked outside, a Brothers to the Rescue plane parked outside. You heard the story about the Guatemalan plane. But I have another story about that trip. When we went to the CIA, and as you check in and you're going into a place that they literally, you need to get naked to walk into, to be perfectly honest with you. And Governor, here we walked in, we're going through the halls there, and they're showing us a museum that no one is allowed to take pictures in, and in a museum that no one's allowed to know it even exists. So kind of like a Men in Black situation. Once you go in, they're going to zap you, and you're never going to be able to talk about it again. And I'm with Senator Marco Rubio. Now, if you hang out with Senator Rubio in some of these places, he's kind of like a rock star kind of thing with him, people wanting to take pictures, except in the CIA building. As we walk through the building, everyone's gyrating to Felix, to talk to Felix, take a picture with Felix, and you start getting an understanding that his life was a little extraordinary. But it was only a confirmation of another trip that I took. A trip that I took with Felix to Guantanamo Bay. Willie was there, former Mayor Robaina was there also. Rene Garcia, back then a state representative, was on that trip. So here we are, 3 elected officials, and we think we're a pretty big deal. We're in Guantanamo Bay, Cuba, and we think we've got this thing wrapped up. And then we get invited to the commander's headquarters for dinner. Again, big deal. The Navy, they put on a pretty good show there until we walked in with Felix. And then it was like, who are these 3 bums? Put them to the side. Every single officer in there wanted to talk to Felix, take pictures with Felix. They took us to a bar. There's a bar in Guantanamo. I didn't know that until we got there. And with Felix also. And everybody at the bar just wanted to hang out with Felix. So you knew that you were with an extraordinary person. And I'm blessed. I'm blessed to have him as my friend. I'm blessed to be able to answer his phone call, or my wife. Whenever he calls, we answer, because we know it's never anything about himself. It's always about somebody else that he's calling about. And for that, my friend, thank you. Honrado estar aquí contigo hoy. Voy a ser breve para cumplir con la misión que me pidió Felix de poder decir algunos comentarios en español. Este museo donde estamos para hoy se debe en parte al esfuerzo de Félix, mi padre, y otro grupo de brigadistas que pensaban de hace mucho tiempo que había que honrar la memoria del sacrificio de los brigadistas y había que también honrar el propósito por qué fueron a Playa Girón. En el caso de Felix no terminó en Playa Girón, siguió y sus aventuras las van a hablar muchas personas, sea Vietnam, sea Nicaragua, otros lugares que posiblemente no se pueden hablar todavía, pero la vida de Felix fue una vida obviamente de aventura, pero también habla de su familia, el sacrificio que tuvo que hacer su familia para permitir que él pudiera hacer las cosas que tenía que hacer. Y todo estaba motivado por amor a la democracia, amor a ver libertad. Y donde la placa de comunismo se veía, ahí estaba presente Felix en algún momento, tratando de hacer su parte para que eso no se pudiera expandir. Sí les digo que donde iba Felix y había militares, el Elvis Presley del grupo se convertía Felix inmediatamente. Los pasó viendo cuando fuimos al Museo de la CIA en Washington, D.C., y decía que andábamos con el senador Marco Rubio, y normalmente cuando uno está con el senador, la idea es que todo el mundo quiere tirarse fotos con el senador. Sin embargo, cuando estábamos en los centros de la CIA, todo el mundo quería hablar con Felix en ese momento, porque era como si era un rockstar lo que había entrado en ese edificio. Y nos pasó también en otro momento, en Guantánamo, por una invitación de un militar que se encuentra, ex militar que se encuentra con nosotros, Willy. Estuvimos yo, el ex alcalde Julio Robaina, el comisionado, en ese momento representante René García. Estábamos en Guantánamo para visitar la base, conocer un poco de los cubanos que están en la base, y estaba Félix con nosotros. Fue una parte de la sorpresa del viaje con Félix. Y entramos en la habitación del comandante de la base, un comandante que obviamente es un honor poder servir en esa posición. Y entrábamos nosotros, el ex alcalde, el comisionado, el representante, y nosotros pensando, bueno, aquí estamos los electos. No tenían interés ninguno en hablar con nosotros. Cuando entramos, todo era girando hacia Felix y hablar. Y obviamente me doy cuenta de su tarea de vida. Lo comprendo quizá mucho más por la vinculación que tuvo con mi padre. Eran hermanos, discutían como hermanos, pero mi papá quería a Felix, quizá lo quería más que a sus propios hermanos. Y esa relación se crea solamente por años de estar juntos en luchas, en tener esa mente de ver una Cuba libre. Y yo estoy convencido, porque aquí en este mismo salón, después del 11 de julio en Cuba, estuvimos reunidos precisamente con la idea y alimentado por la juventud en Cuba que se está parando. Y yo sé que pronto vamos a ver una Cuba libre, sin duda ninguna. Y ojalá que pase con este gobernador en el mando, porque si eso pasa, vamos a poder llegar muy lejos. Muchas gracias a todos, que los Dios bendiga. Gracias, Felix.
We now have Lieutenant Governor Jeanette Nunez.
Good afternoon. What a privilege to be here, and I know you all share that sentiment with me, to be honoring a man that, from the stories that I'm hearing, some of them I knew, some of them I didn't, it is truly the man, the myth, the legend. Feli, qué honor estar aquí contigo. Today, alongside Governor DeSantis, we have the distinct privilege to honor an individual who has dedicated his life to fighting for the cause of freedom. Freedom not just for Cuba, obviously his principal goal, but freedom everywhere. Because I think there is no one more emblematic of fighting for the cause of liberty than our very own Felix Rodriguez. And many of the stories that we've heard already, that famous picture that Felix actually gave me a copy, and perhaps some of you have a copy of it as well. 54 years ago, he brought a despicable man to justice, and I'm glad that the governor called out the ignorance that so many of our youth have with someone that was nothing more than a murderous thug. But this man captured him and made sure he was brought to justice. a former CIA officer, an Army colonel, Vietnam Bay of Pigs Brigade member. So many battles. Some of them physical battles, but always a battle for freedom. And behind me, these walls, these stories of these heroes, for me it's personal. They paint a very clear picture of what our community has sacrificed with that tyrannical regime that still today holds a tightened grip on its people. But we did see, as Steve mentioned, July 11th, a glimmer of hope. We did see the youth stand up, demanding freedom, demanding liberty. And that's something that I'm sure caused them to reminisce, because these brave men, many of them were just boys, teenagers, young men that also stood up in fighting for the freedom of their country. As a daughter of exiles, I can tell you that this is so important to me personally, and the governor and I have shared so many with this community. I can think of no governor more committed to the cause of a free Cuba than this man right here. And being able to stand alongside the governor and present Felix with this Medal of Freedom will absolutely rank as one of my highest honors in my time as Lieutenant Governor. We have a solemn responsibility to ensure that the Cuban people's struggle will not be silenced. It will not be silenced. They will rise up. They will find freedom. And for once, we can all unite and say, Viva Cuba Libre. Feli, es un honor estar aquí y darle a usted lo que de verdad merece. El orgullo, un honor que solamente otra persona lo ha recibido. Así que usted es el segundo, pero en mi opinión es el primero siempre, en el libro mío. Pero de verdad le agradezco lo que ha hecho por la causa de libertad. Eres un héroe y para nosotros de esta comunidad, sinceramente, estoy honrada de ser parte de este honor hoy tan importante para usted. Muchas gracias.
Now have, where is he? Chairman Pepe Diaz? There he is. Come on up.
Yeah, please have my colleagues join me. Chairman Soto. I know I'm missing one. Steve? You're still officially, if you don't want to, come on up. Still part of the family, man. Any way you look at it. Are we missing anybody? Yeah. Okay. Wow, it's hard to follow the governor and the vice governor. Oh my God. This is a very great moment for me, and a moment that is also very emotional, because it's not every day that we get to honor a man like Felix. A person that honor is, when you look at that word in the dictionary, Felix's name is somewhere there. Because it's easy to talk about things, but when you have to prove and stand tall, and people are coming at you from all directions to destroy you or to take your life, and you still stand and you just say, bring them on. And that's the kind of person Felix is. The only bad thing is, make sure that if he does want something and he calls you, you can't deliver, you better disappear. Those of you that know this well. I don't see an incredible man, and I know he's somewhere because he's always quiet and stays behind, but he's one of the most incredible mayors that I've ever known, and I've been a mayor. His name is Josette de la Cruz. Josette de la Cruz. This building would not be here if it weren't for Josette de la Cruz. And this is a sanctuary. This is holy ground. You're right, these are not just pictures. These are souls that fought for the liberty of their country and for this country. And that is important. Our governor is one of those that stood tall for our country. And also, I agree with you, and I think we're going to make a T-shirt company with Felix's brand on there in his face, and we get it out there. But my colleagues and I are very, very touched to have a person like Felix in our community. And one more thing, going with him anywhere, just be careful, because after that you can't talk about anything. We went to Washington. Where's Harry Bello? I know I saw him around here somewhere. We went to Washington to the president inaugural. We met a couple of people, and afterwards Felix turns around to me and says, because he was with us in the hotel, and he goes, "You can't talk about anything you heard." And I go, "Felix, it was no, can't talk." Okay. Next morning we took him to the CIA and to the building. And it wasn't until I heard some of the stories. I know we had a friendship for many, many years, but just like you said, Lieutenant Governor, it wasn't until you really hear some of these things and know the incredible person that you are. We are blessed. We are blessed to be your friend, and we're blessed to have you in our community. And I want to bring up, and from my colleagues, first of all, it doesn't match, with all due respect, that award that the governor just gave you. But it's one more award to the 3 warehouses of awards that you have to add to on behalf of us. And I want a very special person that was also there with you to hand it to you, and that's our senator. In behalf of all the 2.7, well, we might have a little more after census comes out, 2.7 million people in Miami-Dade County. Huh? More than that? Yes, sir. I agree. More than that, but officially. We want to make sure that today, in behalf of the mayor, myself as the chairman, my colleagues, to hereby proclaim today as Felix Day Rodriguez Day.
All right.
And by the way, Pepe Cancio, and he's here. He was a former commissioner. Pepe, you're there. Sorry to bring you up. I apologize.
He couldn't get through. He couldn't get through.
Former Mayor Jimenez, that is now a congressman. I apologize. I don't want to piss anybody off. And Pedro Garcia is here too, our property appraiser. And they also asked me, on behalf of Commissioner Arroyo from the city of Miami, and Francis Suarez, Alina will kill me if I go by and this did not happen. They would also give you today a proclamation naming your day again in the city of Miami. And when I say again, I think we've all named it several times. And we'll continue to name you your day. So on behalf of all of us in the city of Miami, Arroyo and the mayor, also city of Miami.
All right.
Oh. And just for the record, we also are doing state of Florida, Felix Rodriguez Day. So that's happening too. It's an honor for me to be able to bring up a couple friends of mine. We got 2 congressmen here from South Florida. Of course, you all know well Mario Diaz-Balart and Carlos Jimenez, and they also have a token.
Thank you, Governor.
We'll be brief. Se ha dicho mucho, así que no voy a hablar mucho, pero cuando 3 cosas solamente quiero mencionar. Uno es este hombre. Cuando uno piensa en dignidad, en honor, en patriotismo, en sacrificio, ¿qué símbolo puede existir mejor que este héroe que tenemos aquí adelante? Number two, Again, I'm going to just bring up 3 points. Number 2, deep gratitude for a man who served this country in uniform, who served this country in Congress, who continues to serve this state, but who never forgets the fundamental truth about the greatness of the United States and the importance of freedom. Our gratitude to this governor for honoring our hero. And third, and on behalf of all of us, but particular our United States Senator, Marco Rubio, who couldn't be here, but who's represented el senador Rubio, que no puede estar aquí, pero que está representado por una persona que también es una patriota, que nunca se destiñe, Viviana Bobo. Gracias, Viviana. El senador hizo algo muy especial, que no se hace todos los días. There are 2 symbols that the world knows clearly. One is the symbol of democracy for the entire planet, right? It's that building on Capitol Hill. It's a symbol of democracy. And the other great symbol that the entire world just instantly knows is the flag of the United States of America, which signifies freedom and justice and opportunity. So we're so grateful that Senator Marco Rubio asked for one of the greatest symbols, the symbol of freedom, the flag of the United States, to be brought up and waved on top of the other symbol of democracy to honor our hero, our friend, this incredible hero. So on behalf of Senator Marco Rubio, his team, us, and all of you, let's present this that Felix has fought under and next to, which symbolizes freedom. What a privilege for us to be able to present this symbol to our symbol of dignity, of justice, of bravery, of patriotism, Felix Rodriguez.